All right, so how do you get in the state of flow, and what is the state of flow? So I have the book upstairs, but the author's name is Mikhail, big last name. I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce his name, but I'll put the link down below to the book Flow. Why is flow important? Well, the author of Flow set out to figure out what makes people happy. So what he didn't find was a set income, ease. He didn't find that made people happy. We actually need something to work on. It's very important. And the different things that we would equate with happiness, a lack of responsibility, all this different stuff, that wasn't it. So what he found that made people happier was quite often being in a flow state, or being in the zone, as some athletes talk about it. That is, you're completely into what you do. There are no distractions. You're not thinking about anything else. Time doesn't even exist. You can't really gauge time because you're so involved in what you're doing that it can seem like hours when it's minutes, or minutes when it's hours. You're just completely involved in what you're doing. Now, there are characteristics that a flow state needs, and there are certain things that will help you get in a flow state. So why do you want to be in a flow state? 1, you'll get better work done. 2, you're going to be happier with your life. Not only going to achieve more, but you're going to be more present and loving what you do more. Increase happiness, increase productivity, and it'll lead to a better life. So number 1, you have to care about what you're doing. You're not going to find flow state if you don't enjoy what you're doing, if you don't care about what you're doing, if it's not important to you. If you're doing work that isn't important to you, if you're doing a sport that isn't important to you, you're not going to find flow state. Number 2, it has to be challenging but not too difficult. You're not going to have a ton of fun playing NHLers if you don't even know how to skate. Hockey, obviously. It's just going to be frustrating. So it has to be something that, it's typically something that you're good at, and it's typically something that is challenging but not impossible. So good at. This is why a flow state takes time. This is why people that give themselves to a craft, that become masters, have more flow state and often more happiness than people that dabble and jump from thing to thing. You're not going to find a state of flow if you're jumping from thing to thing, from hobby to hobby, from career to career, in search of flow state. Flow state is something you create. They say that mastery comes after 10,000 hours of purposeful practice. That may be true. It may be more. I don't think it's less. You're going to find flow state in things that you're passionate about, that you enjoy, that challenge you. Usually this is something that you've given a portion of your life to, whether it's career, whether it's a hobby that you just love, playing the guitar, shooting guns, bow and arrow, so forth. You're gonna find flow state at the point where you really know what you're doing and it's challenging. So for instance, I just started shooting handguns. I suck. I'm good with shotguns. I love shooting shotguns, shooting clays and so forth, but I've done that for a while. I can find flow state in that. When it comes to handguns, I just suck. I don't know what I'm doing that's making me miss the mark. My eyes a little bit messed up. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's got my attention, but I'm not going to be so absorbed in it because I don't really know the ins and outs of what's making me miss by this much, that much, or whatever. If I'm boxing's something I've done for a long time, I can find flow state in that because I know the challenge. And in boxing's one thing where you have to be completely absorbed in what you're doing. You can't allow distractions or else you're going to get punched in the face. So things, sports where there's a little bit danger behind them, those are where you're going to find flow state. I think more easily. What else can you do to find flow state? 1 is remove distractions. Now, the dichotomy with removing distractions is sometimes having noise improves your focus. So Nassim Taleb, one of my favorite authors, probably my favorite author, found out that when public speaking, when he talked quieter, people would lean in and pay more attention. When he talked louder, they'd lean back and they wouldn't pay as much attention. When you force attention, you end up increasing focus. So what I do, Stephen King does this, he puts rock music on full blast, forcing you to remove the external noise and focus on what you're doing. So that's essentially having an outside force that you have to fight against to focus on the internal force. I put whatever music I want to listen to on full blast upstairs, so it carries into the office, and that makes me focus. Or sometimes you go to a coffee shop. You need noise, external noise. Limiting distractions doesn't mean limiting noise. On the other side of that is you don't want your cell phone, you don't want internet, you don't want different things like that. If you're working on your computer, you don't want things that will divide your attention quickly because you're not going to give enough time to the focus on the task at hand. So get rid of the phone, get rid of any internet or anything that will divide your attention. A good practice that I have learned is you have to practice focus. So set a timer for 20 minutes. When that timer goes off, stop. See if you can focus on one thing without thoughts going elsewhere for 20 minutes. Try 10 minutes and then increase by 5 minutes every week. That will train you to focus for longer periods, and focus is actually something that you do train. The problem is, up until now, you've probably been training yourself to not focus. So if you want to do more work, if you want to be more successful, happier, really work on a flow state. So with flow state, there's actually ingredients that can dramatically improve your ability to focus and focus for longer periods. And I've included them in something called Man Brain. So Man Brain is the optimal supplement for your brain. So all the ingredients that help with focus and attention span and even creativity are in their full amounts, in their full bioavailable amounts, in the purest forms that they could possibly be in Man Brain. So click the link down below. I'll put that right there for you. If your career, if your business, if your craft, your sport, your hobby are important to you, I highly recommend adding Man Brain to the mix, as well as taking the tips that I've already put in this video for you. The more you can get into flow state, the more you can have it translate into other areas of your life, playing with your kids, hobbies, work, and so forth. And it just makes your life better. It is essentially being in the moment, not dividing your attention between different moments and different situations and different tasks. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, click the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Talk to you soon.